The CCTV footage was clear. Pastor Mrs. Grace Okoro, the woman who led prayer meetings and preached about honesty, was stuffing bundles of cash into her handbag from the church safe. The same woman who had sent an innocent man to prison for the theft she committed herself. This happened at Word of Life Church in Enugu. I was a member there for 3 years. Everything I'm about to tell you, I witnessed myself. Pastor Thank God Okoro founded the church 15 years ago. It started with 20 people in a small room. By the time I joined, we had over 500 members and a beautiful church building. Pastor Thank God was loved by everyone. He preached with fire. He helped the poor. He was real. His wife, Pastor Mrs. Grace, was different. She was always dressed in expensive clothes. Her wigs cost more than some people's monthly salary in the church. She wore gold jewelry to every service. She drove the latest car. But she also led the women's fellowship and organized charity events, so people respected her. The church accountant was Brother Steve. Quiet man, very humble. He had been with the church for years, handling all the finances. He lived a simple life with his wife and 3 children in a small flat. One Sunday morning, we had just finished service. The church had collected a lot of money that day. Offerings, tithes, special donations. 3 million naira in cash. Monday morning, Pastor Thank God called an emergency meeting. His face was tight with anger. 3 million naira is missing from the church safe. The money from yesterday's service. Everyone gasped. 3 million naira. Gone. Only 3 people have access to that safe, Pastor Thank God said. Myself, my wife, and Brother Steve. I know I didn't take it. My wife didn't take it. So, all eyes turned to Brother Steve. Sir, I didn't touch that money. Brother Steve's voice was shaking. I swear on my children's lives, I didn't take it. Pastor Mrs. Grace stood up, her face full of tears. Brother Steve, why? We trusted you. We treated you like family. How could you steal from God's house? I didn't steal anything, Ma. But Pastor Thank God had already made up his mind. The police are on their way. If you confess now, maybe they will be lenient. There's nothing to confess, Pastor. I'm innocent. The police arrived. They searched Brother Steve's house. They didn't find the 3 million, but they found 100,000 naira in his drawer. Money he had been saving to pay his children's school fees. Where did this come from? The police asked. My salary. I've been saving for months. But nobody believed him. Pastor Mrs. Grace was crying, saying how betrayed she felt. The church members were angry. He stole from God, they said. He must pay. Brother Steve was arrested. His wife came to church begging, crying. My husband is innocent. Please investigate properly. But the case was already closed in everyone's mind. Brother Steve was the thief. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison. His wife had to move back to her village with the children. She couldn't afford rent in Enugu anymore. The children had to drop out of their private school. The church hired a new accountant. Life went on. People forgot about Brother Steve. But I didn't forget. Something didn't sit right with me. Brother Steve was too honest. Too humble. Too scared of God. I couldn't see him stealing. 2 months after Brother Steve went to prison, I noticed something strange. Pastor Mrs. Grace was wearing more expensive things than usual. New car. New jewelry. She renovated their house. She traveled to Dubai. Business is booming, she would say when people asked. She claimed she had an online boutique. I checked. There was no boutique. No online store. Nothing. I started watching her more carefully. During church services, I noticed she would always volunteer to count the offering. She would stay in the office alone, then come out with the numbers written down. One Sunday, I volunteered to help count. No need, she said quickly. I can handle it. But Ma, it's a lot of money today. Let me help. Her smile was tight. I said I can handle it. That's when I knew something was wrong. I talked to my friend who works at a CCTV installation company. Can you help me check something? The church had security cameras, but only Pastor Thank God and Pastor Mrs. Grace had access to the footage. My friend knew someone who could get us in. We went to the church late one night when no one was there. My friend accessed the CCTV system. What date are we looking for? 6 months ago. The Sunday before Brother Steve was arrested. We found the footage. We watched Pastor Mrs. Grace enter the office alone after service. She looked around carefully. Then she opened the safe. She took out bundles of money, counted them, then stuffed them into her handbag. Bundle after bundle. She looked at the camera once, like she was checking if it was recording, then smiled and walked out. My hands were shaking. Copy this. Everything. Every angle. We found more footage from other Sundays. She had been stealing for over a year. Small amounts at first, then bigger amounts. The 3 million naira wasn't the first time. It was just the biggest amount, and she needed someone to blame. Brother Steve was the perfect scapegoat. Humble, quiet, unlikely to fight back. I didn't know what to do. If I went to Pastor Thank God directly, would he believe me? His own wife? Or would I be the next person accused of something? I decided to go to the elders first. I showed them the footage. They watched in silence. One of them started crying. All this time, we sent an innocent man to prison. We called a meeting with Pastor Thank God. Just him and the elders. We showed him the footage. I'll never forget his face. He watched his wife on that screen, stealing from the church, and something in him broke. He called her. Come to the church now. We need to talk. When Pastor Mrs. Grace arrived, she was smiling. What's the emergency? I was in the middle of. Then she saw the laptop. Saw her face on the screen. Saw herself taking the money. The smile died. Grace. Pastor Thank God's voice was so quiet it was almost a whisper. What have you done? She tried to run. The elders blocked the door. It's not what it looks like. We have footage from several Sundays, one elder said. It's exactly what it looks like. She broke down. Not crying with remorse. Crying because she got caught. I needed the money. Do you know how expensive it is to maintain my lifestyle? You give all the church money to the poor. What about me? What about my needs? Your needs. Pastor Thank God stood up. You sent an innocent man to prison. You destroyed his family. His children had to leave school. His wife had to leave her home. All because of your greed. I didn't think they would send him to prison. I just needed someone to blame. The police were called. Again. But this time, for the real thief. Pastor Mrs. Grace was arrested that night. The church pressed charges. She was sentenced to 4 years in prison for theft and false accusation. Pastor Thank God filed for divorce immediately. I can't be married to someone who could destroy an innocent family and sleep peacefully at night, he said. Brother Steve was released after 2 months. The church compensated him with 10 million naira. They paid for his children's education through university. They gave him a house. They gave him a car. But the damage was done. Brother Steve was a different person. Prison had changed him. His wife had stress-related health issues. His children had been bullied at school, called thieves' children. Money couldn't fix everything. Pastor Thank God stood before the church and apologized publicly. I failed Brother Steve. I failed this church. I was so quick to believe the worst about him because I couldn't imagine my own wife would do this. I'm sorry. Many members left the church. Some said if the pastor couldn't manage his own home, how could he manage God's house? Others stayed, saying Pastor Thank God was also a victim. The church is still standing, but it's smaller now. Maybe 200 members. Pastor Thank God still preaches, but there's a sadness in his eyes that wasn't there before. As for Pastor Mrs. Grace, she's in Enugu prison. Her expensive wigs are gone. Her gold jewelry is gone. Her pride is gone. She has 3 more years to serve. I visited her once, I don't know why. Maybe I wanted to understand how someone who preached about righteousness could be so wicked. Do you regret it? I asked her. She looked at me with empty eyes. I regret getting caught. Not I regret what I did to Brother Steve. Not I regret betraying my husband. Not I regret stealing from God. Just I regret getting caught. That's when I realized some people don't have a conscience. They only have consequences. Brother Steve attends a different church now. He's healing, slowly. His wife is better. His children are back in school. But the scar remains. The lesson I learned is this: titles don't make people holy. The pastor in front of someone's name doesn't mean they're trustworthy. Watch people's actions, not their positions. Pastor Mrs. Grace fooled everyone for over a year. She wore the right clothes, said the right prayers, led the right meetings. And behind it all, she was a thief who destroyed an innocent man's life without losing a single night of sleep. That's the scariest kind of evil. The kind that smiles at you from the pulpit. If you have any story on request, leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more African stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification button so you never miss a new story.